Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome back to Behind the Lens, where we speak to the fighters taking part in CSL 9 Mayhem in the Midlands, and it is going to be one heck of a card. 17 fights, absolutely stacked from top to bottom. And joining me today is a debutant. He's been highly touted. There's a lot of hype behind his name. Is Aria Nilli, who will be fighting Dan Cordell in the light welterweight division. He's making his debut on the CSL. He's not been here before. People have been speaking about him online. And here he is, fortunate enough to speak with you guys about everything that's been going on in his camp, how he got into boxing, and all other things about Aria Nilli. So how you doing, my friend?
Not too bad, Sani. Thanks for having me, bro. Appreciate it, man.
I appreciate the time. Appreciate you being here as well. But let's get straight into it then. You're making your debut. What got you into boxing?
When I was 11 years old, I was getting into a lot of trouble at school, and I was a bit overweight. So my dad told me, let's get down to Cricklewood Boxing Club. So I've gone down there now. I didn't really care about the boxing side too much. I just wanted to lose weight because I was chubby. I was a bit overweight. As like the weeks went on and stuff, I started enjoying the boxing side of it. My first coach, Rob, he was talking me through boxing a lot. I was watching a lot of boxing in his office with him and stuff, and I started enjoying the sport. I stopped boxing I had about 8 junior fights in the amateurs. And then after that, I stopped for about 4 or 5 years. And then I just naturally got brought back to the sport, man, because I watched a lot of boxing at home. And yeah, I'm addicted to the game, bro. You know, once you're in it, you can't leave it. You know what I mean?
No, of course. You can tell the way you speak about the sport. You're smiling about it. You're excited.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the roots. Let's get back to the nitty-gritty. So you mentioned, obviously, you started when you were 11. You wanted to lose a bit of weight. I mean, fair enough. I mean, to do that as an 11-year-old, it takes a lot of balls because, people that age, they're more concerned about playing Xbox and going on pro clubs and all that sort of thing. But, fair play to you. But looking back on the junior side of things, you said you had 8 fights. How did you find that as a junior fighting in the amateurs?
I mean, as a junior, like you don't have to be in camp. There's not really a weight cut you have to worry about. It's more so like just another Saturday or another Sunday. You know what I mean? So I went, of course, 4 and 4. I mean, they're not really. You don't really count them though, innit? They're all close fights and stuff. And I was still a bit overweight, so I was fighting people that are, of course, more advanced, more taller than me, and I didn't know much about boxing at the time, so I just got thrown in. So I just basically learned how to deal with adversity, pressure, learn to fight people that are taller than me, stronger than me. Like I've been in with different styles and stuff from young. So yeah, that's how it went.
No, of course. And obviously you mentioned that you're fighting opponents taller than you, bigger than you. And I think at a young age, that is really important because, yeah, I know you mentioned you were 4 and 4, but having that sort of bravery to get in the ring and that sort of young age, it kind of, and, releases that fear that you might have. And, you're going to eventually be fighting people from all shapes and sizes. So credit where it's due. And obviously you mentioned as well that after your junior side of things, you had a bit of a break. Was that any reason in particular why you had that break?
I kind of got caught up in school and stuff quite a lot. And yeah, I just kind of like not faded from the sport because I was still watching it. But yeah, I just drifted away from the sport. I don't know why. Maybe I was just lazy. I'd say I'd rather come home, like you said, and play FIFA, chill. You know what I mean? I didn't want that stress of boxing because it's a tough sport, bro. You know what I mean? It's like you're getting punched. Like I'll come home sometimes thinking, I'm young. Why'd I have to get punched in my face for? You know what I mean? I'd rather just stay home, stay in bed, watch Netflix, play FIFA. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's got to the point where I said, I need to take this serious, man, because there's a lot of people talking to me, telling me about my talent. Don't waste it. You're young, da da da. And here we are now, isn't it?
No, I'm glad those people did say that to you because that's one thing that, we're in this, life of ours not for very long and you want to maximize all the potential you've got. So
100%.
people are getting into your ear, saying to you, you got talent, make the most of it. I'm glad that you're back. But one thing I will say is I'm glad you didn't say you were Netflix and chilling because at that age, I'd be thinking, what are you getting up to? But, respect to you.
Right. Thank
But
you,
yeah,
son.
you said that obviously you came back into boxing, you fell in love with the sport again. Was there any particular boxer that made you fall in love again, or was it just the fact that you had that, eye of the tiger back in there? You wanted to get back in the ring, sort of thing.
I'd say from a young age, I was always watching like American style boxing. So that's the kind of style that I've adapted myself. I don't really mess with the English style and how they move a lot and how it's like the amateur style, in and out, in and out. I've adapted my style around American fighters. So when I was younger and stuff, I'd sit at home, watch tapes of Floyd Mayweather, for example. But of course, that's back in the day. But if you're gonna go based off like nowadays and stuff, I kind of base my game around. There's a few fighters that I kind of watch a lot, and I've kind of just combined everything. So you got people like, of course, Tank and his Killer Instinct, Devin Haney. I don't know. There's so many different names, but those two are kind of the ones I've based my style around. You know what I mean? But it's easier said than done because they're of course world level, and you know what I mean. I'm just starting my career now, but yeah, man, yeah, that's basically. I just watch American style. I don't really watch the English scene and English fighters too much.
No, of course, and we'll get on to like obviously yourself, but is there any boxer in particular right now, and across the pond that you're thinking, yeah, he's my favorite, or I want to star myself on him? Someone maybe like a Terence Crawford, for example.
I don't know. I'd probably go with more like. I feel Crawford's more like he's an all-round fighter. Like, he can adapt. He's a good counter puncher. He can pressure. He can punch coming forward. He can be a front foot fighter. I'd say realistically, right now, I'll probably go with Devin Haney.
Devin Haney.
Yeah,
interesting.
Forgetting his last fight.
I was gonna say, who knows? Dan Hordell might come and say, he's a massive Ryan Garcia fan, and that'll be quite an interesting dynamic.
You could try it.
We'll leave that on the side. But I mean, we're at the press conference the other day, and you had a chance to speak. Ali spoke about, where you're coming from, the hype around you at the moment. And one thing I will say is, you haven't fought obviously 3 years. 3 years, you said you've been in camp. What have you been working on for 3 years in camp?
So me and my team, we think about technique a lot. It's of course fitness and stuff. I of course do my fitness work, but when I go into the boxing gym, it's very technical based. So it's not very high paced every single day. Sometimes we take it down a bit. Sometimes in footwork drills for 15 rounds only with cones. Sometimes I'm shadow boxing and only using one hand. Sometimes I'm working on a specific shot. So when me and my team get in there, because you know Xavier Miller as well. That's some part of my team as well. So Zav's part of my team as well. I've got Super Youssef as well. He's a current fighter as well. So it's good to have like the mix of those two. So Super kind of like knows the game now and how it's changing and stuff. Zav, of course, he's like a throwback coach, but he's also adapted to the new style. So when I'm in the gym and stuff, in a boxing gym, some days of course it's very intense, of course, like sparring and stuff. But there's other days where I'll just go and sit in Zav's office, for example, and he'll just run me through a fight, like a 12-round fight of, I don't know, Hagler Hearns or just any fight, and he'll be pausing it and he'll say, "Look, did you see what you just did?" Like, and then I'll have to pick up on it. You know what I mean? And then maybe tomorrow we'll work on that exact same thing. So it's diligent. Like, we focus on one thing sometimes solely, and we repeat the same thing over 500 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, of course. I think it's always good to hone in on your technique. Practice makes permanent. I'm not saying you'll make it perfect, but you'll get there eventually. But you mentioned obviously Hagler Hearns. That was 3 rounds. Is that something that you're thinking this fight's going to mean? Obviously, this is a 3-rounder as well, but are you looking to kind of take Dan Hordell out in this fight?
All respect to Dan Hordell. I know what he's going through as well. It's not nice. So I DM'd him myself yesterday, and I told him, all respect to you, bro. Rest in peace, your mum. Send my regards to your family. But this is personal for me because it's something I've been wanting to do from a young age. I've been waiting for a stage like this, and thank you guys again for giving me this opportunity. So it's nothing personal between me and Dan, but I mean, I did say it depends on how I wake up on a day, and it kind of does, because if I do want to take him out, I've watched his fights. So I've seen his week, like me and my coach, we've gone through it, like all his fights about 3-4 times now. So I've seen a lot of weak points. I can either put on him early if I want to. I can put pressure on him and he won't be able to take the power. So I just know like my own power. I know what I hold, the speed and stuff. Or I could, if I want rounds, if I want to test myself against him, I might just stay on the back foot, box him a bit. I don't know, man. It's a tricky one, Sani. It's a tricky one, man. I don't know.
We will see come second.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
This is your first fight. Let's forget about the juniors. You've been there, done that. You're back. This is your big debut.
Yeah.
What is the style that you would say you're about? Also, you mentioned a few fighters that you've watched. You've got the counter punching, you've got some of the brawling type. Someone who's more of a pressure fighter. What would you say is your style of fight? So people out there know what they could be seeing with Aria Nilli.
All right, so when I first went to IQ Boxing Club, which is where Super Youssef and all these guys are, Zav, Jesse Brandon, I kind of learned his style straight away at Super. So he's a guy that kind of sits in the Philly shell. He sits on his punches as well. He doesn't really move much unless he has to. So I'd say I sit on my shots a lot, but of course I adapt as well. So I've got my own style now, plus Super style, so I can adapt. So for what the fans expect, I don't know. I'm really quick. I'm a good counter puncher. I hit hard. I'd probably just say a boxer puncher. So I can sit on my back foot. I can pick the shots. I can set the traps. You know what I mean?
It's going to make for an interesting fight if that is the case. But going back to obviously this fight itself, not long to go, 2 weeks now, 2nd of November. I will say one thing. Why did you feel as though you needed to wait 3 years to get into the ring? Did you not think maybe after a year, year and a half, 2 years, you wanted some experience? Why did you wait 3 years?
Because, Sani, it sounds crazy that I'm saying this, but I'm a perfectionist. I'm truly a perfectionist. Like, I don't want to do something if I feel like I'm not ready to do it. You know what I mean? And maybe 3 years is quite a long time. But in those 3 years, I've seen a lot of different things. I've been to a lot of different fights. I've sparred many times against different styles, different heights, different calibers, of course, amateurs, pros. So I feel like those 3 years, like, I kind of needed, because I skipped the amateurs, of course, the seniors. So those 3 years of experience were very vital for me. So getting in with, I don't know, like certain pros, testing myself against them, then certain amateurs at top level. Even me and Jay shared quite small span. Jay shared quite a few rounds together as well. I was helping him for his camp. So those 3 years were kind of just me making up for missing on the senior amateurs. You know what I mean? Because if I went in there with no experience, you know what I mean, it's tricky, man. You know what I mean? Even now, I've never been in a ring before, had a fight before. So it's still tricky as it is. So those 3 years, I feel like I kind of needed them, man.
No, that's understandable. I think it's always good to hone in on your skills and, the assets that you have. But obviously, this is your first fight that you're fighting. Do you feel any nerves going into this fight come 2nd of November?
I have normal nerves. Sorry, I'll admit. But sometimes I sit in my bed at night and I feel like there's nothing to really be scared of. We're all going to die one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Destiny's written. So whatever's meant to happen is meant to happen. I'm going to do my best, and I'm trying my best right now. I trained early in the morning. I got another session at 7:30. So I'm doing everything I can right now. Like, I'm nervous to be under the lights and to be under people, yeah, but I feel like I belong here. And you can see from my first press conference, you know what I mean? It looked like I belonged there, you know what I mean? So, nah, man, I wouldn't say I'm nervous, like normal nerves, but man, there's bigger things going on in life, you know what I mean, than getting in a boxing ring.
No, I think you're right. There is bigger things, a bigger picture. But obviously, speaking of the smaller picture, and we're right here on YouTube, you're wearing a T-shirt. I'm not going to assume, but is that Aria Nilli with your initials there? Is that your
Yeah,
sponsor?
this is all my sponsors for this fight. So I've got British Vintage Boxing following me. I've got Maygrove States. I've got Geotherapy, who's actually one of my close friends that I go to once or twice a week for a massage, sports massage. What else you got? You got a lounge called the Aura. I got quite a few people backing me, man. You know, I got a lot of people backing me, and I don't want to let them down. So I got a massive point to prove. And the thing is, with Dan, I respect him, of course. Like, he's a great man from what I've seen, of course. But he hasn't really got a point to prove. He's fought 7 times. He's lost 6 times. So for him, it's like another day in office. But for me, bro, this is something I've been dreaming of since I was a kid. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna let any man on the planet take this away from me. No one can take this away from me, bro. And this is coming from the bottom of my heart. Like I texted him. I said respect to you. In a press conference, he came up to me after we spoke for a bit. But it's business, bro. Like, I can't. You know what I mean? There's when we get in the ring, there's no nice Ari no more, man.
No, it's going to be the business Aria game mode.
Straight to business, yeah, man.
He's ready. You sound ready as well. And like I said, it's not long to go. And I mean, I mentioned it in the press conference. So did Ali. There's a lot of talk about you, Aria. There's a lot of hype. It's building across the scene. Do you think you can live up to that potential that everyone's got of you?
Do I think I can live up to it? Yes, I feel like I can. I've seen myself in a gym. I've seen, of course, when my first ever spar. This is my first ever spar at IQ. But this is after a long layoff. I was sparring a guy that had a few amateur fights, pressure fighter, hit very hard, I got in there and he was smacking me up. 4 rounds, I was getting battered. I was getting bad. I didn't know what to do. 5th round comes, and then right hand from nowhere, boom, straight on his chin. And then his legs went a bit. His legs went. And then that's when I looked left, I looked right. I was like, what should I do? And then everyone's like, go forward, go forward, go forward. So I know the power I have, and I know how to deal with adversity. That was my first ever spar at IQ. You know what I mean? IQ is a serious gym, bro. It's like, you know, what do they call it in America? Floyd Mayweather's gym. Was it a doghouse or something?
Yeah, you got doghouse, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that, bro. Like serious sparring. So I've been sparring there a lot. I've like I said to you before, I've dealt with pressure fights. I've dealt with him. I've dealt with power punches. I've dealt with so many different styles. So yeah, I'd say I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready to live up to the name, bro. And this is just the start, bro. This is just the start. Out CSL, you guys are a very, very good company, man. Proper. It's a very good platform.
Yeah. Thanks to Ali, he started off something special. You know, who knows where journey will go with CSL, and hopefully we'll see you on here again as well. But final few questions for yourself. I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you're going to be training and getting ready, getting your mind ready for this fight. But in terms of this fight, how do you see it playing out on the 2nd of November?
How do I see it playing out? I'm going to come out the first round. I'm going to throw a few feints. I've seen him react a lot to feints. He starts shelling up. I'm going to throw a few feints. I'm going to get him on the back foot. I'm going to give him one stiff jab to let him know I'm a power puncher. And then from then, it's just going to crash. It's just going to come. I'm going to touch him upstairs. I'm going to dig low. I'm going to come back up top with an overhand right. His legs will go. Then I'll go down to the body. And then I think my prediction is for the fight, the towel will either get thrown in or he just won't get up.
I mean, I'll be on commentary. That'll be a sight. If this is what you say happens, I want to be there watching it, thinking, he said this.
I'll look at you straight away when I do it.
Be there like he called it. But let's see, Dan Hordell, his game, like he said, he's got the experience. Of course, unfortunately, his mother passed away. Really big respect to you as well.
Big respect,
that nice message that you sent, but massive respect to Dan for getting to the ring. It must not be easy.
100%.
God rest his mum's soul as well. She's definitely watching this fight from up there. But
100%.
One thing I will say is you've got a lot of tattoos on you. Are there any special, reasons why you got some of these tattoos? Any special meaning?
This is basically like so. Basically, this is for my grandfather that passed. So this half sleeve is all for my grandfather that passed away. It just says we had amazing memories. Even though I won't ever see you again, I will never forget you. Just the road he lived on, and it's just 2 doves over here. This is just more so for myself. It's just about challenging times. I'll be honest, I forgot what the fuck it says, so I'm not gonna bother. But yeah, it's basically just got to do with that. And yeah, man, on my chest I got a lion. That's my spirit animal. And yeah.
Lions in the camp. That's what they're. Obviously with yourself as well. Your grandfather, although he won't be there, God rest his soul, he'll be watching as well.
Thanks, Sani. Yeah, 100%.
You do your thing. So, any final messages for Dan Cordell before we?
Final messages. Sani, thank you very much for hosting this. Ali, thank you so much for giving me the platform to show my skills. And to Dan, rest in peace to your mum as well. I know it's difficult, and yeah, the utmost respect to you, because times like this, bro, like a lot of people could just shell up, you know what I mean, and do the opposite to what Dan's doing. Dan, like he said, he's been in a gym, he's been in camp, it's helped him get through it, it's helped him grieve. So big respect to him, bro, because I don't know a lot of people that would do that when someone like their mother passes away. So big respect to Dan, and rest in peace to his mom once again, man.
Massive respect. When he said that in the press conference, I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. But
yeah,
he's coming there. See, it's a massive fight for you come 2nd of November. It's your debut. And one thing I will say, and I'll give you the floor, any final messages to your fans, your friends, your family, your sponsors, anyone else out there that you want to hear what Aria Nilli is all about?
Thanks to my sponsors for backing me. My friends as well. A lot of them are going to be traveling up. And yeah, thanks for getting behind me. I hope I can show you guys what you've been waiting for, man. I hope I can. And I know I'll deliver. I know I will.
He believes it. He manifests it. He will will it into existence. The Aria Nilli takeover, people. That's what he's saying. That's what's going to happen from 2nd of November. I'm going to be there on commentary. Aria Nilli will be there. You want to see as many of you as possible at CSL 9 Mayhem in the Midlands. Doors open at 4 o'clock at the conference suite. It's going to be an absolute barn fest. And if you can't make it there, if you want to watch this fight against Aria Nilli, and Dan Hordell, make sure to buy the pay-per-view on Leapfrog TV. As always, guys, until next time, peace.